Welcome to Wednesday's edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. And today I have the energy of Master Jesus with me on reclaiming your soul. And this is such an important time in our history that we have the opportunity to recover what was lost, but not lost. And again, we're going to go into that a little bit more. I do want to say good morning to everyone, and that we're seeing so many wonderful changes happening on the planet today. Scary in some respects, but also it's not about what's going on out there. That's what's really important. What's really important is what is going on within you. What is going on within you as a soul, as an awareness, as a spiritual entity, as a divine manifestation of infinite consciousness that is existing and living in and through that body that you call yourself, which is not yourself. It's simply an instrument that you express through. When he came to me and said, this is what we will look at, reclaiming your soul. What does that mean? Reclaiming your soul is discerning and identifying the reality of your beingness as something that functions independent of, but through what you call this world. You have forgotten that you were not put here to be subjective to the senses, but you were to bring light to them and through them. You came here to bring light to and through this instrument that you live in, that body that you hear and see through is simply a vehicle through which you may transmit or receive certain things. You may transmit love, you may transmit fear. You may receive love, you may receive fear. There is no middle ground. Your soul is a pure function of love's expression. Your mind and body, the way that you have enabled them to become at this time, function as mechanisms that stimulate and generate and function from fear. In a vibration of fear, you lose awareness of and connection to the infinite light that is your life, that is your true nature. You have gained the joy of the senses, the pleasure of these things, but you have lost the love of your life. And that love of your life is what your soul is. You are love. It is your nature. When I said, what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his own soul? I simply meant that in becoming too caught up in the senses of your body and what it enjoys or does not enjoy for the sake of it alone, that you would lose your connection to love, because then you move into the experience of what your modern science would call the living of survival. You're fighting to survive, not to express love, which is your true reason for learning to be in this dimension, to express your love of being. The very nature of your being is love. It is not something to be acquired from the world, but something to be offered to it. So how do you begin this process of reclaiming your soul from this world? Well, first you must become aware that your body is simply an instrument through which you are able to express, that your mind and the thoughts in your mind are also likewise simply instruments through which you can express. Much of what you have received from the world of men, and I use that word very carefully in terms of humanity, what you have received in terms of from the human world does not accurately represent what you are. Much of what you are experiencing now in the vibrational energies of fear does not let you see or know the truth. And only the truth can set you free from fear. The moment you are able to begin to make a distinction between your thoughts, most of which the world has given you, the moment you begin to make a distinction between your body and who you are as an awareness, you begin to move away from subjectivity, enslavement to matter. You begin to move back towards heaven when you realize the body that you are in is an instrument for expressing your divinity, as your mind is an instrument also for expressing divinity, not simply for the pleasure of matter exclusively. You came here to articulate a creative expression unique to you, not simply to acquire pleasure from this world, which is very fleeting and limited. You have the opportunity to liberate yourself the moment you decide, who am I? And begin to consider, who am I? Who am I? That question that you have heard the words spoken about so many times, but to truly consider, who am I that I am? Who am I that is aware of these thoughts? Who am I that is aware of this body? Who am I that is aware of this world? Who am I? You must learn to ask that question. And in asking that question, you begin to consider, oh, I'm aware of these thoughts, but these thoughts are not my thoughts. So what are your thoughts? Most of your thoughts are not even yours. They are given to you, sown into your mind at a very young age, and you believe that those thoughts are the true definition of who you are, and nothing can be further from the truth. There is a great benefit to becoming thoughtless. There's a great benefit to becoming thoughtless. And when I say this, I mean thoughtless in the sense that the thoughts that you think, which are not yours, if you did not think them, you would have a very different awareness of who you are. Much of the fear and anger and uncertainty that so many of you are experiencing right now would not even have sway over you. You would be in a greater state of peace if you were not bound by them exclusively. To reclaim your soul requires that you become aware of what you are not, and to make a clear distinction, to use a process of discernment, to say, this body is an instrument, it is not who I am. These thoughts and emotions are not who I am. I am the one that directs them, that coordinates them, that alters them, that changes them. Many of you have deferred this process to the external world. You've deferred your independent capabilities to create and think independent of the world to the world. In other words, you've allowed the world to tell you what to think and what to believe to be true or not true. And yet, the very nature of miracles and healing, the very nature of them transcends the limits of what you have been told. And we see now on the planet today that you are now being placed in the position where you must learn to remember that your function in creation is a miracle in and of itself, that you as a soul awakened, can perform miracles and phenomena that are as equal to your Creator, for you are made in the same image and likeness that I was also. Do not let them tell you otherwise. We come from the same source, although you may be astray in your beliefs, astray in the understanding you've been given about what life is and what life isn't. But I can assure you that we all come from the same source. It is beating your heart as equally as it beats the heart in this body, as equally as it beats the heart in the person next to you, as equally as it beats the heart in the people you see outside your window, or those that you're walking down the street beside you. That same force of life is present in all of us. It is not exclusive to any one of us. And so again, I come to say simply, awaken yourself. Who you are is more than what you have been told to think it is. You are not what this world would define you to be. You are not what this world would define you to be. That is something that so many of you find yourself struggling with, that you hope to find fulfillment and self-definition from the world, and the world cannot give you that which your Father has given you. The world cannot give you that which the Father has already given you, namely your soul. And that process of awakening and reclaiming your soul is a series of simple questions. If I am not these thoughts, then who am I that is aware of these thoughts? This is a very important question to consider. I am not these thoughts, and if I am not these thoughts, then who am I? The second question you may wish to consider is, I am aware of these emotions that are occurring inside my awareness. If I am aware of these emotions, then who am I that is aware of these emotions? This is the second question. If you contemplate very carefully the nature of you that is asking the question, who am I? You will begin to put your finger back towards the hand that gives you life. The moment you ask those questions, who am I that is aware of the thoughts in my mind? Who am I that is aware of the emotions? The very nature of those two questions turns you about and has you look away from this world back towards your true nature, which is love. Again, those two questions. If I am aware of these thoughts, then who am I that is aware of these thoughts? If I am aware of these emotions, then who am I that is aware of these emotions? These two questions begin the process of surrendering the world and returning yourself to the kingdom which is within you, here and now. You will not find heaven in the earth, but you can find heaven expressing through the earth. You will not find heaven in dollars or coins or food. You will find heaven in your own spirit. But those two questions begin to move you away from what the world has seduced you into believing is true, that you will find your fulfillment and joy exclusively from this world. This is not true. You may find pleasure in this world, but you will not find the eternal joy that comes with knowing that you are in alignment with an eternal source of love that never fades nor dies, but yearns to express freely through you as an offering to life around you, much the same way as it offers its life to you freely through the beating of your heart. Is that not much more joyful to know that this life that beats your heart is something that you too have the opportunity to offer this life to others in your thoughts, in your words, in your acts? Your thoughts can only fall into one of two categories. Your actions can only fall into one of two categories. Are these thoughts of love? Are these acts of love? There is no middle ground. There is no in between. There is very clear definition. There is only love and there is only fear. And you cannot serve two of these masters. You may serve only one. And it is your Father's will that you serve one or the other. And you may choose one or the other, but the rewards of one are different than the rewards of the other. The choice is exclusively yours. And what would you choose to do, knowing you have such a choice? But those two questions become very important at this point. If you are aware of those thoughts in your mind, then who are you that is aware of those thoughts in your mind? If you are aware of those emotions in your consciousness, then who are you that is aware of those emotions? Those questions will begin to open your eye to look to where the light comes from within you, and not to try to find the light within this world of men that is very dim and dull at this time. But we can assure you that heaven on earth is unfolding. No matter what you may do to resist it, it is unfolding. heaven on earth as an expression of divinity through all facets of itself. Even those who suffer have the opportunity to end their suffering. Those who may turn and look inward and move back towards that place in consciousness with those two questions. If I suffer, who am I that is aware of the suffering? Who am I that is aware of the suffering? For that body, again, is simply the vehicle, the instrument that was provided to you to learn the ways of love through your experiences. And even the conditions of suffering will still lead you there eventually, whether it is in that embodiment or another. There is a certain inevitability that unfolds as a direct result of your willingness to ask simple questions. There is no great complexity in returning to the kingdom of God in this moment. There is no great complexity. It is very simple to be present, to be here, to be now. Understand those two questions. If I am aware of these thoughts, then who am I that is aware of these thoughts? If I am aware of these emotions, then who am I that is aware of these emotions? These two questions will begin to turn your eye open and back to where the light comes from. For you are made in the image and likeness of that which made you. And if you should look upon it again, you will be liberated. You will be free from the world of men. And again, I use that term very carefully, for your minds have very fixed limits in terms of what is proper or improper, what is right or what is wrong. It is a language that can be very useful, but also be very entangling as well. But the word represents what you call humanity. The world of humanity is very disturbed right now. And if you turn your attention away from the realm of humanity, you will begin to see the light in your eye that seeks to shine out through you. You've heard the statement, what does it profit a man if he can gain the whole world but lose his own soul? There is no profit, but there is certainly the comfort of the body, the security that you think you will have for such a short time. Some of you for only a few years, some of you for a lifetime, some of you for multiple lifetimes, in that pursuit of happiness from the world as the source of that happiness. But in your pursuit of the source of life that is within you, should you reach that and discover that, your happiness will be eternal, not temporary. And so this process of reclaiming your soul must be undertaken consciously. There is no one on this earth that can take the journey for you. There are those in this world that can show you and point the direction that you may go in of the journey. But only you can know if it is the right direction. You will know it because you will feel it in your own being. You will feel the vibration in yourself when you get closer to that light which is within you, beating your heart right now. You will know when you are getting closer to it, for you will feel freedom. You will feel fearless. You will feel a strong urge to express love without resistance. You'll feel a strong urge to express love without resistance. This is the time of awakening. It is time to relinquish yourself from your suffering, and great your suffering has become as a species. It has become very great. It is time to surrender it. You surrender it by recognizing what is of real value and what is not. But one cannot express what one does not possess. And if you have hidden from yourself that which is true, you will cleave onto that which is false. And so I encourage you to ask those questions. If I am aware of these thoughts, then who am I that is aware of these thoughts? If I am aware of these emotions, then who am I that is aware of these emotions? That will take you and open your eye to look in a new direction. For I did not come here to tell you who you should be, for you are already that which you are, but I did come to show you a way that you could know that which is true from that which is false. I did not come to tell any man to be as I would wish him to be. I came here merely to show him a way that I understood. And I am not the only one that has done this. I am not the only one that does this. I am not the only one that will do this. There are many, many others now awakening, coming into this world that cannot be stopped. You must remember this statement that an all-knowing intelligence cannot make a mistake. And this all-knowing intelligence exists within you all of the time. It knows how to coordinate and organize all the functions of your body as equally and easily as it does coordinate the functions of all the stars in the heavens and all the life forms on this planet. This all-knowing intelligence cannot make a mistake. So even they who function in the belief that they are somehow able to control and manipulate that which they believe they can control and manipulate are simply serving that which made them, whether they are aware of it or not. Even that which you would call evil serves the God. The word that came first was the Lord, will serve that as well, whether you know it or not. So do not fear, for those that seem to be evil are serving the same God that those that are not. Please understand that. Reclaiming your soul begins with those two questions. Who am I that is aware of these thoughts? Who am I that is aware of these thoughts? Who am I that is aware of these emotions? Those two questions will begin to open your eye to see what is true within you. Do not let the world distract you from the truth. Do not let the world distract you from the truth, for you will know the truth, not because I or any other would speak it to you, but because you know the truth. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Good morning, everybody. This has been an ongoing thing, and it's going to become so much stronger over the next few months. We're going to see, the ascended masters that are coming into form right now. Master Jesus is not able to just speak through you or talk through your heart, but he is in physical form. There's an actual physical embodiment of the one that you call Master Jesus on the planet today. And not just in one form. There are many ascended masters on the planet today that are aware of this expression in consciousness that they're here to articulate. They're not here to change the planet. They're here to articulate their expression. And the expression that they articulate will change the world. That's really that simple. Yes. He says it's really important to spend time away from your world. What do you mean by that? To be separate in yourself, to be inwardly focused, to go inwardly, to spend time every day, to move away from your thoughts, to move away from your memories, to move away from your emotions, to reconnect to that still, quiet, and silent place within you. Go there and you will find that the peace that you seek has never been lost, but must be recognized in order for you to find it. It is already still there. Thank you. Let's get some questions here. Hi, Marie. Hi, Allison. Hi, Lynette. Question from Marie. I have a family member who keeps getting tongue cancer. This is the third time. Are there any insights that can help her release this illness or fear? He says the first thing to do is to release the fear. Says the second thing to do is let her words be as sweet as love always. Let her words and her thoughts be as sweet as love. Let her words be as sweet as love. Yes. So let her words and thoughts be as sweet as love. That's such a beautiful thing. You know, what we say with our bodies, what we say, yes. He's saying what we say with our bodies, you put a vibration through. Every word you utter, every thought you think is a vibrational mechanism. Yeah, I know, Raphael's coming in too. Raphael says there are things that she can do to heal the tongue as well from a practical standpoint. But always it comes down to the vibration of love. But Master Jesus says for her to be very mindful that her thoughts and words are as sweet as love. And Raphael says there are things that she needs to change in terms of what she consumes and what's coming into her body that continues to cause this. But also to release that rage, that thing that she has not spoken of, that thing that she has ignored for so many years. She must speak of it. She must release her pain around this. Yes. Yeah. So Raphael's, I'm paraphrasing now, he's saying that there's an event that's happened very young that she's never spoken of, and it's very painful, and she's holding it in. She needs to speak of this and let it be gone from her. Wow. Thank you for that question, Marie. Beautiful question. Hi, Jennifer. Question from Jennifer. Why am I in fear of seeing Bob Friday? I don't know who this is, but it is not the fear of Bob that you should consider, but your own fear. Why would you have fear at all? Again, if you have a desire, yes, an ulterior, yes. If you have an ulterior desire in this, it's understandable that you'd feel fear because you got the belief that you may lose something. But go into this in your love. Do not go into this with your fear. Why would you choose otherwise? Who are you that is aware of those emotions? Who are you that is aware of those emotions? That is who you wish to be when you go to this meeting. Do not indulge in that which does not serve you. Do not indulge in that which does not serve you. To be fearless is to be free. Thank you, Jenny. It's a great question. Wonderful. Wonderful. Question from Julia. How best to keep my emotions higher so I feel more inner peace? Sometimes a dip. He says it's really important you understand these questions. The moment you ask this question, who am I that is aware of those emotions? You begin to turn your attention to who you truly are. When you ask that question, who am I that is aware of these emotions? You take your attention away from those separating elements and you realign yourself. You bring yourself back to yourself. And who are you in truth is love. You are not the fear. You are not the anger. You are not the guilt. You are not the shame. That is not who you are. But you who are aware of those things is who you are. But you are not those things of themselves. You are not the things of this world. You are the divine expressing in form here, but you are not the things of this world that you believe. Wow, thank you so much for that. Great question. A question from Lynette. What is the creative project I should focus on now? Thank you. Love. He's saying the only creative project that any of you should be focusing on is love. Whatever vehicle or mechanism you would choose to articulate it, make certain that whatever your project is, let it be of love's hand. Let it be of love's hand. Let it be of love's thought. Let it be of your highest expression. But always love. There is no greater call for love on this planet than today. There is no greater call for love on this planet than there is today. Yes. If you're asking me to be specific about a particular thing that you should do, I would simply say to you, if you are doing that which love is through you, then it will be the right thing to do. There will be no error in love. There never is. There is only error in fear. There is never error in love, ever. Wow. Thank you. Great question, Lynette. I got time for 2 more questions today. He says 3, so we'll give it 3 questions. Okay. Question from Janine. I messed up a bit for a few months, but stepping into my power again, I allowed outside influences to get me. Am I on the right track to not allow this anymore. If you are making this step, if you are making this movement in your life, in love, in grace, then you can be rest assured that it will always be the right step. But always let your love's expression be your most important compass in your physical expression. Let your love's expression be the compass that you follow in your being in this physical world. That is the most important direction to follow, the direction of love. Again, it is okay for you to change directions in this process. Sometimes you need to be reminded of the difference between love and fear. Yes, you can look at yourself in the mirror when you know you are following love, and you will see that when you look in the mirror and you are following love, and you are truly following your love's expression, there will be great delight when you look in your own eyes, for you will know and see the eyes of love when you're expressing that through this physical world, through that body in which you find yourself. Love's expression will always smile back on you through your eyes. Fears will not. You will always know. You will always know. Thank you, Janine. Great question. A lot of people are faced with that right now, that what am I doing? And I like his simplicity here. You know, love. What is love's expression through you? What is love's expression through you? This has come up in recent, we're in the middle of our 101 mediumship program right now. And that question came up during one of our meditations last week. What is love's expression through you every day? Do you ever ask that question? When they put that question to us and said, what is love's expression through you today? And if you ask that question, it's going to change something for you. You'll consider that. Thank you for that super chat, Drusilla. I really appreciate that. Any message for me? Yes, you have never been closer than you are now. The veil is very, very thin. Would you ask that question? Where is my love within me? Where is love within me? Seek that. The moment you seek that, you shall find it. Where is love within thee? Where is love within thee? Seek it, and you shall find it. Where is love within thee? Yeah. And the veil is very thin. People don't realize, even when you're in intense fear, the minute you turn towards asking those questions, if I am aware of these emotions, then who am I that is aware of these emotions? Think about that. If you're aware of emotions, then who are you that is aware of the emotions? You're not the emotions if you're aware of them. I love it. Those two questions are so simple, can shut down so much suffering in you very quickly. Who am I that is aware of these thoughts? The moment you do that, you turn your attention away from the thoughts and you start to look at who are you. And once you start to realize who you are as a vibrational being of love, because it's what you really are. It's what we all are, right? You start to get free. Great question, Drusilla. Thank you so much. Got time for one more question. Question from Animation. Will my daughter and family move back closer to me? If you have time, dreamt of having 2 healing modalities. What were they? I'm getting a strong no about the family moving closer to you at this time. At this time, I'm hearing this. Whoever this is, they're stressing the words "at this time." It is important that you move closer to who you are, which is what you are doing with these modalities. It is not one or the other that you should choose. It is both of them. Yeah. And my guardian angel John said that to me like 4 years ago. He said, when you're faced with the question, should I do this or should I do this? Get rid of the word or and put the word and in its place. Don't do this or this, do this and this. And you'll be so amazed what will happen. Don't do one or the other of those. Do them both. Do both modalities. You'll feel great relief. Just think about that. I can do this and I can do this. you watch. The stress will just vanish. Yes. They're saying also that when that separation inside yourself ends, the separation in your world will end. When you are unified and whole within yourself, then the world around you will have that experience for you as well. You will be at one with it as well. So be in wholeness with yourself. Your confusion has created separateness in your world. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, Drusilla. I want to say thank you, everybody, for coming out today. On Friday, we're going to have the Divine Council of Light, and we're going to be covering the subject of acts of creating on Friday with the Divine Council of Light, this Friday on Shortcuts for Your Soul. And this is a whole new thing where they're actually telling me in advance what the events are going to be about. So I'm really excited about that. It'll make things a little more interesting, and you can plan to be here for things that really resonate with your spirit and your soul at this time. Also, I want to encourage you to support this channel. I do not monetize any of my videos. I did in the very beginning. I have not for a long time. The only monetization this channel has is the super chat feature in the conversation panel. You can support this channel with the super chats. You can also support this channel through my Patreon page, patreon.com/William Michael Forbes. We also donate a percentage of all the monies that come in through this channel that goes to a group called the Underground Railroad, which rescues children from the sex slave trade all over the world. It's a highly well-respected organization that goes out and rescues children and is doing so very safely. I encourage you, if you don't want to support them through here, then please go to their website and support them there. I'll post a link in the description panel below. But again, I want to say thank you to Master Jesus for being present, and Archangel Raphael, thank you so much for that. Really appreciate that as well. And all of you, thank you for taking time out of your precious day to come and be here with us. I wish you all much love. And again, if you want to know more about the courses and the classes, or you want to book a reading with me, please go to my website, WilliamMichaelForbes.com. Remember, if you've enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Remember to hit that subscribe button so you get notified whenever we come live. And I want to wish you a joyful and wonderful day. Bye for now.